This is the Weekly Check-in. My name is Dennis Sanders, and I'm the pastor of First Christian Church of St. Paul, located here in Roseville, Minnesota. So this week, I wanted to talk about home. What is home for you? Last week, I was on Facebook and saw this link to a website called Mitten State. Mitten State is a site that sells all things Michigan. And being a Michigan native, I definitely had to see what was on there. And I enjoyed it. I loved it. There were lots of t-shirts, especially talking about everything that had to do with Michigan. Whether it was universities, I definitely saw something there from Michigan State, my alma mater. There were also things and t-shirts representing famous Michigan brands like Verner's and Fago, and Kogel and Kellogg, and everything there. And my favorite thing was a t-shirt that I'm definitely going to get. And it's a t-shirt that says home on it. And where the O is supposed to be, what you get is the two peninsulas kind of there. And even though I have not, I've lived here in Minnesota now for over 25 years, I still call Michigan my home state. We all have places and actually people that we call home. Home is that place where we feel that we belong. So what happens when you lose a home? And we've seen that happen. Maybe it was because of an earthquake or a fire. People lose their homes, or especially in the last year, many Ukrainians have lost their homes. They've become refugees. They've had to flee. People lose that sense of home, and it means something to them. And losing it can just be incredibly devastating. There's an article that I read last week by two political commentators from the New York Times, David Brooks and Brett Stevens, and they were both commenting about how they now feel politically homeless in the years since Donald Trump has taken over the Republican Party. That's something that I totally sympathize, because again, like them, in those years since Donald Trump has taken over, I feel politically homeless. I don't know where I always fit politically. Where is our home? What is home? I think it is part of the human condition that we're all trying to find a place where we fit in, where we can call home. Political parties can be one of those things that actually make you feel at home, where you can fit. But there's something dangerous sometimes about that, because especially in our very polarized age, political parties can feel like home, but they can also maybe feel like a prison at times. Over the last few years, we've really taken our political differences to kind of a different level, a not so good level. Politics has really become part of our identity. So if someone is talking smack about the Republican Party, or they're talking smack about the Democratic Party, and you are of one of those parties, you take it personally, because it is part of your identity. How often in our politics today is everything just about owning the libs? Or I don't know how many articles there have been about what you should do, or how you should try to shut down your conservative uncle during the holidays. Politics has made political parties not just home, but as I said, prison. That's not very healthy. Michael Ware was an advisor to President Obama. He was an advisor for faith-based initiatives. And he has written that Christians need to be careful about making political parties their home. Ware is Catholic, and he writes a lot about where faith and politics come together. And he's not saying that we should not do anything about politics or that we should pretend, not be a Democrat or not be a Republican. But that we make sure that we don't necessarily make these things our homes. In his book, Reclaiming Hope, he says that for Christians, the problem is not that you're politically homeless. The crisis is that we ever thought we could make a home in politics at all. And where it says that for followers of Jesus, really, there is only one home for us, and that is in Jesus Christ. And when Christ is our home, he argues, politics then becomes about helping the neighbor, not about deciding who doesn't belong. Jane Anderson Grizzle wrote in the Mockingbird website that political parties actually are very poor places for home because they don't answer some of our deepest questions as humans. Affiliating, she says, with a political party or candidate will never make us feel at home in this world or solve our daily issues. Only God is steadfast and life-giving rather than demanding. Politics cannot help my son's disappointments, but praying about it does offer him hope that God cares about his sadness. My loneliness may not be addressed by protesting or writing letters to a representative, but remembering that God is close to the lonely does give me hope. Our home, whether we are Republican or Democrat or neither, is in Christ. As Christians, we come with different beliefs. So, especially at church, we're not always going to agree. If our home is in Jesus, we should be able to reach out to lend a hand to someone, regardless of who they voted for in the last election. Because it doesn't matter that they are Republican or Democrat. What matters is that they are children of God. I love that I can still call Michigan home. I'm sad, though, that I am politically homeless these days. But maybe I shouldn't be, because I rejoice that my home is ultimately in Jesus Christ, a place where I know that I truly belong, and it is a home that I want others to come and be a part of as well. St. Augustine, the great Christian saint, once said that our hearts are restless until we find rest in God. I pray that all of us, no matter who we are, Republican, Democrat, straight or gay, that we may all find a home in God. Take care, dear church. Godspeed, and I'll see you soon.